My name is Brett Tolley, and I'm a fourth generation fisherman. I'm from Massachusetts in the United States, and right now I work for a nonprofit organization called NAMA. It's the Northwest Atlantic Marine Alliance, and we work to advocate for sustainable fisheries throughout New England, which is an area, but we also work to support small-scale sustainable fishermen from all areas of the United States and internationally as well. One of the big problems that we have in our community is the industrial large-scale fishing companies that threaten to displace a lot of the smaller scale, middle scale family fishermen. My grandfather was a small scale fisherman, my father was a small scale fisherman, and my brother fishes right now as well. And that link has been passed on from generations. And we're at a point right now where the cost of fishing is skyrocketing. The cost to buy a permit, the cost to lease is so high, it's almost too expensive for any new fisherman or for that next generation to be able to continue fishing. And so it's one problem for the community, but it's another big problem for our ecosystem. If all of our fisheries or who is able to continue fishing is only the large-scale fishing operations, then that's really a damaging and it's really a big concern for our environment. The large-scale fisheries have a larger impact to the ecosystem, and not just the ecosystem, but also our food system. I think our food, our fresh, local fish, is at threat as well. If the fisheries go into the direction of the larger scale industrial fisheries, then our food will suffer. There'll be a lower quality of food. The local people will have less contact with their local food providers. And so those are the sort of three really big issues. It's that direction is bad for our communities, it's bad for our food system, and it's really bad for our ecosystem. Part of our work is to connect a lot of the fishermen and the fishing communities to the slow food movement. In my experience, the slow food movement is something that's very well known on the farm side. So a lot of farmers, the agricultural folks who care about their farms are familiar with slow food and the goals and the mission of slow food. On the fishing side, we're a little bit farther behind, I think. We need to catch up to where the farmers are. And a lot of our goals are to connect those things and to take the lessons learned on the farm side and then apply those to the marine side so that fishermen begin understanding that same language and begin using that same language, because slow food has built a lot of power and momentum for farmers. And I think just right now we're learning how to tap into that on the fish side. I'm here to learn about the experience of both farmers and learn about the experience of other fishermen, so that we can not feel so isolated, so that we cannot feel as alone in our efforts to do these big changes that we all want to see. We want to change the food system. We want to change the way that people see our food providers and how they interact with the community. We want to change the way that we see our ecosystem and our natural land. So I think being here, you can feel an energy, you can feel the inspiration from all these people who are doing these really incredible this incredible work in their own communities from all over the world. I was just speaking with a fisherman from Chile, and he was telling me a story about 10 years ago in Chile. They had organized fishermen from all over the country to fight, the same fight that we're fighting right now, against the industrial fisheries and the large-scale fishing corporations. And part of their organizing and their fight, what they achieved was a law that said only licenses can go to owner-operators. In order to fish, you have to actually be on your boat. You can't be somebody who owns and then rents. And that was really inspiring, and I think it's something that we're all trying to do in my community where we come from, to get those same sort of protections. What I am taking away from this is that energy so that I can go back and take that to my community where I work and begin sharing some of the stories that I've heard. And I think, part of our role as a fishing community is to educate and make sure that we don't forget that the fishermen are part of that ecosystem, that they are part of that sustainable ecosystem, and that they're stewards of that ecosystem as well. And if we, in the goals of trying to save the fish and save the ocean, we displace those small-scale sustainable fishermen, then we won't achieve that goal. We actually need to maintain those small-scale fishermen in order to have a thriving and sustainable ocean, a thriving and sustainable ecosystem. And I think that's really important. So I hope for the vision of where we want to get, that as a community, we all learn to recognize that.